Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be video number 4 of the Tattoo Apprenticeship video series, and in this video I will show you guys how I set up my machines, how I was taught to set up my machines. I'll grab my liner and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do it. So I'll show you that it's working like crap now. Actually, it's not even working, so basically, to get the correct gap on a liner, you're looking at about 2.5 mil. So if you just find anything that measures 2.5 mil, you can get a coin, you can get those gap measure things that you use for cars, anything will do. Just make sure it's that size. So I myself have a coin. It doesn't matter what coin it is, as long as it is between 2 and 2.5 mil. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to want the gap from the spring to your contact screw to be 2.5 mil, and the same down here. Okay, now you will assume that if you do it down here, it's going to be the same up there, and that's not necessarily the case. So basically I just put it under there, give it a few twists, and then make sure the gap is right. Now the more precise you are with this, the better it's going to be, and you might need a slight adjustment when you're finished. But as you can see, the gap, I don't know if you can see there, the gap there is slightly bigger than there. Okay, so that means I'm going to need to close that another half a turn, and that looks good to me. Now try and have your contact screw at the 1 o'clock position. Okay, that's where it's gonna work best. Now depending on your frame as well, that can vary a little bit, but you know, try and stick to the 1 o'clock position. So we'll give it a try now, and I'm sure you'll notice the difference. So I wouldn't even touch it, but you can, if you need to, you can adjust it slightly, you know, just half a turn or quarter of a turn more or less, depending on how it's working for you. It's not an exact science, but this is the best way to do it with a liner, or the way I was taught anyway. So for the shader, right, we're going to use 3 to 4 mil gap. Okay, so again, I've got another coin that is 3 mil. I work with 3.5 mil, but it's going to depend on your machine as well. So if you can see there, that's actually way too big. Okay, and if I plugged it in, it wouldn't even work, obviously, because there's no contact. And the way you want to do this is not exactly the same as the liner, because the spring is different. So you want to twist your contact screw down until you've got your 3 mil. Okay, that looks about right. And then you want to check your spring. Okay, now the distance from your spring to the contact screw should be slightly less than down here, okay, because the shader has a softer spring, so when it throws back it's still going to go up slightly and then come back down. So you want it a little bit less than down there, okay, so that looks pretty good. Now as you can see the contact screw here is more at like the 2 o'clock position, but I don't really want to, on this frame it's mounted way down here, so if I have it at the 1 o'clock position it's going to give me less of a gap between my spring, or less tension actually. Okay, so let's see how that's working. Okay, so let's lower my voltage here because it was whacking a bit too hard. And there we go. It's good to go. I might give it just half a turn more. So that's how I set up my machines. My color packer, I use the liner but with the same setting as on the shader, so slightly harder spring but 3mm gap, and on that one I normally turn the voltage a little bit more up. And there we go. So there's really nothing to it, it's just keeping the gaps right, and then obviously you'll find what works for you, but that is the main thing in setting it up. And then obviously don't forget that with coloring and shading your needle should rest just flush on the tube, so not hanging out, and you have to work at an angle, so obviously it won't go 3mm into the skin. It will, because you're working at an angle, it will probably go in half of that. Okay, so I hope this helps you guys. Obviously I'm not Mr. Know-it-all, I'm under apprenticeship, so but I'll pass some things out that you guys want to know. Any comments, just leave a line below and I'll get back to you soon.